Our inspiration for our next painting together is a folk artist named Heather Galler. She likes to paint many different things, including landscapes, animals, still lifes, or paintings of objects that don't move, like flowers. And that brings me to her favorite subject to paint, which is, you guessed it, flowers. We're going to try to use Heather Galler's way of using shapes, patterns, and implied form to create our own beautiful bouquet of flowers. Start by writing your name and your code on the back of your paper. You might want to add a little flower decoration to get your hand warmed up and practiced up. Heather Galler likes to use circles surrounded by arches like this for her flowers. Then flip your paper over and begin the drawing with our favorite tool ever, the Bingo Dauber. The flowers are going to be in the top half of the paper. The vase and the ground or table are going to be in the bottom of the paper. Start by drawing the flowers in the top half of the paper. I like to start with a circle or two. Then I add some more details, like maybe some polka dots or stripes, or both. And then I like to draw the petals all the way around, with arches. Sometimes I add another circle around the petals, because that would change the whole shape of the flower. For my next flower, I'm going to use one circle for the middle and add some longer petals going around. For the small spaces in between the flowers, add leaves with a football shape like this and lines inside. It's always good when you are making or creating a picture to include something called variety. Variety is when you have a lot of different things in your picture. Like all of my flowers are going to look totally different from each other. It makes the picture more interesting to look at. Sometimes you may need to jump over a leaf or a flower that's in the way of your new flower, like I had to do right here. That shows that one flower or leaf is in front of the other. This is called overlap. See how I jumped or skipped over the leaf as I was drawing that flower? That makes it look like the leaf is in front of the flower because it's overlapping it. This creates something called depth in your picture, that it has space that goes back instead of just being flat and boring. So now I pretty much filled up the whole top half of my picture as much as I could with this big old Bingo Dauber. So now I am going to start working on the vase. To draw the vase, I use two diagonal lines, like this, spaced apart. And then at the bottom, I draw a curved line. This curved line gives my picture implied form, which means that even though it's on a flat paper, it looks to my eye like the vase is actually popping out at me and is 3D. Once you draw the vase, you can decorate it however you want with whatever patterns you want. I am personally going to add more curved lines that echo or copy the bottom line, and then I'm going to add crisscross lines on top of that to create a checkerboard. And to finish the checkerboard, I'm going to color in the squares using an A-B pattern. The last thing I need to draw is the table that my vase is sitting on, with two lines, one on each side of the vase. You can also add more detail and decoration here to the table by adding a pattern of some kind. So I'm adding some polka dots. Once you have filled the top of your paper with flowers and the bottom half of the paper with the vase and table, you are done with this part of the project. The next part is to add some amazing, bright colors to our bouquets, just like Heather Galler.